there for the side of RSG SG. He knows how to do his stuff here, and let's see how this progresses on during this drafting phase.
All right, Scrubby Cheeks, any standout players to you for either teams?
I mean, we talked about Yawn going up against Slowly, and I think Youngin himself pointed out that this is the meta for Slowly to pull out his assassins. So I think that for me is the one to watch. And of course, Melon and Roy also are pretty experienced. You know, Roy having, I think, even went to MSC before when he was with RSG, so has that experience, and tapping onto that with Youngin, I think the role of a coach to be able to have that game plan. But like you said, it comes down to the execution of whether or not that game plan will pan out.
Yeah, look, I think for me personally, another lane which I'll be looking out for is going to be CS and Chu, right? CS, we've seen him perform well in the previous season when he was given the space to maneuver around. Whereas Chu was, you know, I think the community guy that was coming in to Asterisk, you know, other teams kind of saw him as kind of the weak point. But, you know, he also proved himself very, very, very useful in characters like the Natan from the previous season, as well as I think he was playing a little bit of Roger as well.
Yeah,
not too much success, but I'm very curious to see how he's going to maneuver this season and how he has improved as a player individually.
For Rift, this moment here, we've seen Pancake rather in the previous days that he has been very aggressive as Roam. So he really takes initiation team fights for the team. Well, let's see if he'll be able to do the same performance here. But as you can see in the drafts, it is going to be Assassin bans for now for Rift. Well, RSGSG, still no Hylos, no Zushin. The most common bans we've seen so far in the day one.
What's your command?
But we do see the chip being banned out, and we see, oh wow, all three
assassins
of the premier assassins, Ling, Hayabusa, as well as Fanny being banned out. And on the side of RSG SG, they've banned out the Roger, Ruby, and Chip. Utility champions in Ruby and Chip, and of course, one of the premier gold laners, or jungles, I guess, in Roger, right? Banning out the flexibility that Roger can bring to the team. True. And for the first half of the banning phase, pick and ban phase is really, really smart coming from RSG.
Hylos is pretty much open. This is now going to be, for me, the priority pick for the side of Rift. They can take this one, or if they have a different strategy here, focus for the side here of the Assassin instead. Because right now they're banning the Assassins here. They have a game plan. Oh, okay, Phoveus will still be the key pick here for the side of Rift instead. So Zask, Hylos, pretty much open. Can do this one.
Yeah, Zask Hylos is indeed a good combination to be picked up from the side of RSG, but I do also want to point out what Mo mentioned earlier today, right? He saw, we all, I think, agree collectively that Phoveus is a good pick if you have a team built around him, right? He needs mobility. He needs people to be able to follow up with the pull that he can do. And oh wow, we see Cho and Moskov being locked in from the side of RSG as Hylos and Zask still open. Will they actually be leaked through?
Well, yeah. RSG SG actually going in for this picks. This is one of the orthodox red side picks right now in the first phase of our draft. And with this Cho pick, they want some pickoffs. I can think right now, if this is going to be a flexible Cho as well, can go for the XP if they want against the Phoveus here, but too much dashes. I think Phoveus will really going to shine about this matchup.
No, I mean, RSG's picks are really interesting, right? These two heroes are very, very high mobility heroes, and they picked it into the Phoveus as well, right? So they're fully aware that they know their matchup, and we see Hylos and Zushin getting picked up for the side of Rift Esports. These are very, very premier picks from the side of Rift, but I don't see too much synergies actually coming up from the mid trio.
Rift Esports now has a Zushin, has the Phoveus, has the Hylos. Top tier picks right now being locked in, and now RSG SG going in for this Nolan this time around. So you can really see right now how aggressive RSG SG will be in the early stage of the game. We've seen Nolan can have the damage in the early stage of the game, plus this Cho have been very aggressive as well. As a hero, mobility-wise, dash is coming in from Cho, dash is coming in from Nolan, damage as well is there, and I think this is going to be one of their victory conditions here, is to be very aggressive in the early, give space for the side of Moscow. Same thing we've seen on the Team Flash, maybe going 4-man aggressive play, then leave Moscow alone in the lane, giving space, then going to T5 with the SOD.
That's true, but I mean, if I was Rift Esports, I'd just go Minotaur, right? You just go Minotaur, you go Hylos, you once again have to sustain, and the damage output that coming out from RSG side may not be enough as you're able to just sustain all your HP back up. You see Zask being banned out for the side of Rift and Joy being banned out for the side of RSG SG. Joy was actually one of the bans which I was thinking that RSG SG would ban out because you know, we've seen Slowly last season absolutely decimate the entire games with Joy, and now it's put Slowly in a very interesting position. I'm very interested to see what he's going to be picking up because we see 5 assassins being banned out already for him, whereas you know, RSG sitting comfortable with the Nolan pick for Yon.
Wow, all the assassins here have been prio banned, and this is what's lacking for the side of Rift is the damage. You have so many utilities right now. Sustain coming in from this Hylos as well.
Could we be seeing something like a alpha maybe?
I think for the early stage of game, Alpha can deal a lot with the help coming in from Zushin as well.
But just no, like I said, there's just no obvious synergies, I think, coming out from the side of Rift Esports right now. They're all very, very solid picks into the meta at this point, but
okay,
I don't see it. Help me out here.
Yeah. I get your point here because the Hylos giving the zone there. And you have Zushin as well, at least provide this crowd control on the back lines. But still, this lineup doesn't have the damage. I think right now here, compared to RSG SG, pick of plays incredibly good. As you can see here, Cho with a kick, follow up by Roy, or follow up rather by Yon. And the Aurora pick is just automatic kill here. But on the other side, I think Zushin is not enough to actually set this play. They need someone to wait.
Yeah, okay, that makes a bit more sense then. They're just lacking a lot of range though. Rift is lacking so much range at this point, right? Yeah, okay, now it makes sense, right? So Zushin can use a lantern to pull people in, and then from there, Claude can use his ultimate ability, of course, to do heaps of damage, and we know how much damage Bane does as well with his passive, right? So I'm starting to see how it works out, and Hylos also enables Bane and Claude with his ultimate as well. So the movement speed increase and the movement speed decrease, on the other hand, it's going to play a lot of synergies and a lot towards the side of Rift Esports. But RSG side, I don't know, just feels a little bit easier. Okay, no, I was gonna say, I think between the two, Rift is probably an easier team composition to execute because you just turtle up, right?
Yeah, RSG SG. I think right now, Tigreal, Aurora, as well as the Nolan here, these are very aggressive when it comes to a team fight here. You can really see your flicker, implosion, follow up here by Nolan and the Aurora. That's it. That's a game plan here. Provide space for the Mascot. But on the other side though, first time we are going to see a Bane here, and it could also be used as a disengaging tool here, the Deadly Catch. From this ultimate here with that mini stun, it can actually just disperse the initiations coming in from the side of RSG SG.
All right, I want to hear your thoughts, Zedai, between these two, which is the easier team composition to pull off?
Easier for me is RSG SG for me because Flicker Implosion again is just simple to do like this one with the proper coordination coming in from RSG SG. You can burst out anyone in that situation. But so far on the other side, I see so many disengaging tools, but I'm still somehow looking forward on how slowly we'll be able to carry here as the Bane jungle.
Yeah, look, for my thoughts on this is very simple. RSG is playing on a timer, right? As long as it hits late game, RSG is gonna be in a world of hurt, right? You have Bane, you have Claude as well to kind of pull through, and then you have a tanky front line as well as in the Phoveus as well as a Hylos. So in my opinion, if RSG is not able to pull off an early game, then it's gonna be a risk game to take.
As you can see right now, the aggressiveness from the side of Rift. I think they're making some plays here. I think they don't want this one being controlled by RSG SG. Especially you have here Melon on that Zushin. Zushin has been very vital when it comes to bullying his lane here. That Lanterns giving so much utility here, so much pick-off potential as well for the side of Rift.
Yeah. And
Looking at the emblems as well, it's interesting, I think, on the side of RSG, there's a lot of movement. Wilderness Blessings, agility being picked up as well. I think it shows that they really want to, control the pace of the game a bit, especially going up against Rift, who, like you said, has a lot of ability to disengage, to engage, and to reposition the team of RSG.
Plus the sustain as well. So I think Rift here has the, we can say, the kit as well to counter this pick of plays coming in from RSG SG.
Yeah, look, like I mentioned, I think this is interesting, right? We see the ever-lasting battle between early game versus late game, right? And the question is, in such I guess juxtapositional kind of matchup, right? It's gonna be on RSG's side to see whether they're able to execute the early game like they want to.
I'm seeing right now it's actually Rift dictating the tempo here in the early stage of the game, but so far, a team fight here.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of tools to be able to secure control for this. Turtle in the backline, though, closer, gets the kick on way of Dragon. The Turtle goes the way of RSG, and now slowly nails down first blood. Yuta gets closer, and it's a bloodbath already at this first Turtle.
I said this is an early versus late game team composition, and it seems like Rift is actually ahead of kills. This does not spell a good thing for the side of RSG SG. The consolation prize is that they got Turtle though, so that was a good rescue from Yon.
But man, the revitalized battle spell coming in from Pancake did wonders there in the sustained team fight, in the prolonged team fight rather, and Rift here showing some life in the early stage of the game. I think I'm expecting RSG with this kind of lineup. Nolan, and you have also the Tigreal here. They have to be very aggressive, but in that few minutes that we have seen right now, they have actually been cut off. They cannot just push through here.
Yeah, look, they tried to force a fight with the first Turtle, and unfortunately, they just weren't able to they weren't able to burst people down thanks to, like I mentioned before, revitalized by the Hylos. Pancake actually coming in to save the day right there. Oh, so Spirit Destruction.
Coming through, damage onto Melon, pops Lantern Flare in the backline though, the kick on slowly, he gets taken down by Roy here, Yunsky, the Lantern Flare gets pushed back though, still goes down, credit goes to Melon for that one.
Yeah, look, catches on both sides. Zhuxing, this is actually the first game we've seen her today, but we see why she is primarily banned, right? Because she is able to maneuver team fights across the map. So you're able to pull people across with your lantern as long as you manage to get stacks, right?
Across the map.
Across the map. That'd be broken, man.
Absolutely broken.
I was thinking of Spirit Destruction when I said across the map, but yeah, you guys get what I mean.
Yeah, we've seen Closer there did a perfect Weight of the Dragon. That setup, that situation is incredibly good for him. But meanwhile, on the top side, Closer.
Yeah, having to run away again. The threat of the Lantern Flare to, reposition the team of RSG, and that's dangerous because Yunsky, if he wants to engage on Implosion, just as we were talking about it, Yuta pops the Infernal Pursuit, damage onto Yunsky, almost getting down, forces the bag. Yuta gets the killing blow here.
It feels like Yunsky is overstepping some of his boundaries. His team is not with it. Not behind him, right? Usually when you want to use an Implosion. Not
quite ready to fight, right? Again, now Yuta popping the Infernal Pursuit here onto Closer. All this buys so much space for Rift to get the Turtle. And again, another Lantern Flare onto Closer. They're just gonna get the kill here. One more to Rift. They're looking really good.
Another one bites the dust. We see people getting decimated by the Lantern Flare. Zhuxing pulling in her work. But I do also want to mention Yuta, man. First time we're seeing Phobia's getting such an early lead so early in the game for today, right? 3-0 and 2 in 5 minutes.
And this is one of the games where Phobias now become online. So many dashes. We have seen, of course, Closer with this show is just giving Yuta so much, of course, of his passive activated there in the situation. And 2 team fights already in the hands of Rift. Time and time again, those revitalized battle spell, those purify as well, is just negating everything here coming in from RSG SG. Even though they initiated team fight, Yunsky having a hard time because of that.
Yeah, look, there's no room, there's no angle for Yunsky to pop in, right? Because the second he goes in, he gets just put into like CC hell. right? I mean, you've got Hylos, you have his switch skill, you guys using just building up the lantern flare. It makes it so difficult for him to find an entry point. And right now we see Rift actually taking the lead, 1.1k gold ahead.
Oh, Frigid Glacier though, landing onto the backline of Rift here. Getting damage, forced to back closer. Looks like he wants something. They're gonna back off just for now.
Oh, I actually somehow doubted the Spain pick here, but actually it did, of course, pretty good in this lineup coming in from the side of Rift. I thought this was too much utility coming in from the lineup of Rift. You have very tanky Hylos there. You have as well the Melon not dishing out a lot of damage, but the stuns from her lanterns there is actually good as well, stopping this team fight capabilities coming in from RSG. And this Bane slowly is just free hitting the back lines.
Look at the damage dealt by Roy, man. His positioning has been outstanding right now, almost doubled of what Melon has currently done so far, right?
But still, damage with the sustain.
Oh, with the flicker implosion onto slowly here. The knockup is enough to seal the deal. Now at the turtle though, closer in some trouble. Glorious pathway pop. They're surging forward onto RSG, onto Roy. Cannot find the damage just yet. But Yunsky in the front line gets taken down by Yuta.
Yunsky is just getting picked off again and again and again. And guess what, guys? CS as well has kind of pushed down mid lane. So we were right? Moskov is here to split push and join team fights when they need him. I think definitely credit goes to RSG for finding Slowly and making sure that Slowly's dead, but they're not able to get the turtle whilst his death timer's on.
This time around, this is going to be a third turtle here, but the positioning for RSG is actually pretty good this time around. Will they be able to turn the Stablers here against the side of Rift?
Surely, I'm actually surprised Rift is actually taking this fight, or at least contesting this, because, I mean, they have CS that can join in at any point in time. Fight breaks out.
Yeah, they're already contesting for the turtle. Still goes the way of Slowly, though. And Yuta chasing down Roy. Look at him. One sliver of health left. Pops the Pride of Ice here. Will they? Yes! Slowly lands that last blow onto him closer. They find him in a jungle. Juicin again with the Lantern Flare. Repositions him to finish him off.
Oh man, too much sustain, too much crowd control as well. And Yunsky, we've been highlighted, this guy has been struggling at this moment because so many counters we've seen, especially with a Purify Battle spell, and he cannot even land a perfect implosion at this moment. Fortunately for Yunsky here, but this is we're still having hope here for the side of RSG. There's still CS there.
I guess the longer the fight drags on, Yunsky has already just exhausted all of the spells that he can to initiate. In the meantime, Rift, they have so many tools to engage and disengage, and Melon can just, continue for days. And now, on the top side, Pancake with the guard for Yunsky in the midst of everyone. Once again, gets knocked up here, goes down first. Frigid Glacier is not enough. They have to back out. RSG in some trouble, trying to re-engage to Rift. Closer, all the way into Melon, chasing him down. Does get the kill here. 2 for 2. Messy, messy fight there.
Yeah, indeed. And this is under the turret of RSG SG. This is how confident right now Rift is. And now slowly going in for the chase.
Oh no, he's nowhere to go, can he though? The Inferno person again gets pulled back by the Dark Wave this time. Another, repositioning tool that they have to just stop RSG in their tracks and block their path of escape.
That feels so bad to see right now, man. I mean, honestly speaking, like you said, RSG was favored in the early game, but guess what happened in the early game? They got decimated. It's 2.3k gold lead towards Rift right now, and any kind of opportunity that RSG had, or rather the longer the game goes, I personally feel is more difficult to pull off, right? Because in the late game, you only have, what, Moskov?
Yeah, I think it's also difficult for RSG because of that Bane pick, right? In the early game, you have so much control with the Deadly Catch. It's an entire zone that you take out, so it helps you secure the objectives that you want as well. So Rift Esports, I'm not sure if RSG kind of saw that coming, but hopefully with that Moskov pick, like you said, maybe a chance to split push or have a plan B in the late game.
the good news for RSG is that CS identifies that, right? You've seen him push down the first turret for both top lane, for gold lane and the EXP lane as well. Both turrets down, and on the mid lane, the second turret is already at half HP, right? So there are pathways for RSG to come back in this game. The gap is getting wider and wider, and the gap for them to kind of come back is getting smaller and smaller, but there's still a chance.
Yeah, the Lord coming down, deadly catch to push that turret. It goes down so quickly there. Already the mid inhibitor down, so RSG's defense is starting to get cracked open.
Yawn?
Oh, Yawn. Oh my
Yawn
goodness. In the mid lane gets blown up there.
Yeah, I can see the intention coming in from Yon to just at least make the wave slowly pushing, but they still gonna stop this one as the inhibitor turret in the middle lane has been destroyed. Second one here we're seeing.
Yeah, it's gonna go down quick as well. Chu has enough now to take, just a lot of turret damage and starting to output what he needs to.
Yeah, look, I wanna highlight that what Yon did, I don't think was a mistake, right? Rather, it was a bit of a miscommunication there, because the thing is that if Yon was able to get the flanking angle, whereas RSG is taking the fight in mid lane, something could have happened, right? But unfortunately, by the time Yon reached the enemy team, RSG was nowhere to be seen. Everyone was just back healing up, licking their wounds, which is super, super, super unfortunate for the side of Yon.
I think with RSG's lineup also, yes, they might have a bit of high ground. Hold on, Yuta, Dark Wave onto Yoonski there. They might have a bit of high ground with the team fight or oriented composition that they have, but at the same time, it's difficult for them to get into the backline to find Chu because there's so much they have to get across in order to reach him. And it's, how do you get closer to that?
Oh, man.
By using closer. I do want to highlight closer, right? The thing is that we haven't really seen many Jikutnos and Way of the Dragon plays, right? We haven't seen those picks that some of the earlier teams were able to do just now, where they're able to constantly get into the back lines and kick people in the face back into their own teams. None of that has happened so far.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think whether Cho is necessarily the right pick for closer.
This time around, man, I'm seeing right now that without the inhibitor turrets standing, lane pressures are against the side of RSG SG. And with this lineup we're seeing for the side of Rift, it surprised me actually, especially during the early state of game. I thought they are very vulnerable with Yon on the Nolan, Yunsky here on the Tigreal, and Roy as well on the Aurora. We've seen the damage dealt by Roy there. It's really possible for them to go for the pickoffs. But then again, when it comes to team fights, objective team fights, Sustain coming in from Pancake and Yuta, specifically here, just shines already on the Phobies because so many dashes here are coming in from closer, coming in from Yon as well. It's just infinite, infernal pursuit here coming in from his Phobius.
Yeah, and take a look at how they positioned around the Lord just now. I'm pretty sure Mo is going to break that down for us. But the way that, the positioning where Yuta was standing, right, was preventing anyone from their side of RSG, SG from entering even the Lord pit. That was nowhere near the Lord. Because the thing is that if someone did step up, they would instantly get locked down by stuff like, the Phobius and stuff like the Hylos as well. And it's just super unfortunate right now. Rift is doing a good job of choking RSG out from all the resources they can possibly get.
Yeah, Yuta read that, right? He found Yon in the jungle, preventing him from, potentially pulling off any steal. On the left side, the mid-river, Pancake was covering that route as well. And let's say you really sneak in, you still have Slowly on the Lord with the deadly catch that can zone you out. So there's really no point of entry there for RSG. In the meantime, Closer tries Way of Dragon onto Rift here. They get the kick, but at what cost? Closer goes down here, and they're looking at the end. Yon comes through as well. The damage is pouring in. Rift is low. Can they do it though? They shut down Yuta. 3 on the side of RSG. And now with the sustain, they're just healing back up and trying to end the game. Chu lands the final blows onto the core.
That was really good focusing from Chu, right? I mean, at that point in the time, it was kind of risky. I mean, the HP bars were low. If there was a knockout, if there was a kill on the Chu, that would have been it. But I think that was a good